Hurry up with my damn croissants.
Hey everyone, it's your favorite Korean boy here. It's that time of the year again, you know, it's a time to milk the Joji cow once again for views because that Frank Ocean video ain't doing so good. Man, how do you expect me to feed my family with these numbers, bruh? But today, we're going to be ranking every Joji song from best to worst. So here's the criteria for this list here. Every song from In Tongue's Ballads 1, Nectar. Even a good handful of tracks from Chloe Burbank, some random unreleased unofficial singles, and a few Joji songs from the 88 Rising albums. Keep in mind, this is one man's humble opinion. So without any further ado, let's get down to business. Definitely fits the title because the lyrics are super bitter. Like, god damn, this is pretentious bull. Yeah, still hasn't grown on me. I appreciate the noisy, experimental build-up, but the payoff is actual. Yves Tumor has a phenomenal voice, but Joji, out of his wisdom, I guess, decided to just bury him in the mix on here. Like, how do you go from this? You can be more, but you're heartless. To this absolute dog shit. The only interesting thing is that out of nowhere, migraine-inducing instrumental in the middle of the song, but after that, there is still a minute and a half left, and it becomes the most dragged out song I've heard. Like Joji is beating this song to a pulp, squeezing the juice out of it. Alright, that's it for songs that are pretty bad. Now it's time for the songs that are very bland. This is the most soulless piece of pop music. It does absolutely nothing for me. Yeah, sure, it's listenable, but there's no life to it. Another conveyor belt track from the 88 Rising music machine. My god, Normal People is the most painfully boring song on Nectar. Like, I wanted to nap and hibernate after listening to it. And the feature on here, Ray Brown, sounds exactly like Joji, but just singing at a higher pitch. Yeah, this song title basically explains how I feel about the actual song. Can You Hear Me is a cut from the Lost Ballads. I'll never listen to it again unless I make another one of these dumb videos. Basically some dramatic pianos with Joji going like for 2 minutes. This song is a yawn. This entire track is basically a reference to Travis Scott's Popping Pills Is All We Know. I'd rather just listen to that song instead of this drab, boring bullshit. Speaking of drab and boring, next is High Hopes. The only salvageable thing about this song is the weird production, but Joji and Omar Apollo do absolutely nothing exciting or compelling vocally. Not too surprised it was left off Nectar. Controversial opinion, but I think R.I.P is overhated. Trippie Redd's singing isn't even that bad. That being said, lyrics are painfully corny and Joji has zero presence on his own song. I think 18 is a much better Joji Trippie Redd collab, although that song will not be on this list because Joji is just a feature. Maybe I'll make a separate list for that. I don't know, do I really want to dive into this hellscape again? A snooze fest of an intro. There are some cool, growly, distorted vocal effects when Joji drops the second verse, but again, the lyrics are just not interesting and it's just kind of a sleepy performance. I remember Anthony Fantano saying this song was like a watered down rip-off of a Post Malone song or something along those lines, and the more I listen to it, I kinda have to agree. It's a cute interlude track, short and sweet. It's got that classic Joji ukulele production that we all love, but at the same time, it's kind of forgettable. Okay, this song right here is such an anomaly. On one hand, I love the experimentation on here. On the other hand, this shit sounds awful. The song doesn't really flow organically, and even with the auto-tune, Joji sounds painfully and almost intentionally not on pitch. With that being said, I'll See You in 40 gave me an existential crisis last night, so you know, flawed masterpiece, C tier. I like the creative production and it does set a bleak, depressing atmosphere that I can get into. It sounds like you're sinking into a dark, deep abyss. The lyrics aren't that interesting, but I really do think In Tongues is all about the sound. If you love this lo-fi trap production with a dark edge to it, then you'll love this EP. The song shrunk on me a lot. I don't find it as compelling as I did before. I do think there are a few more tracks on this EP that I slightly enjoy more in terms of production. Produced by your boy Shlomo, Come Through is a simple, almost blissful little ballad. The song does become a bit stale after a minute. I don't want to sound like I'm beating a dead horse here, but once again, Joji provides us with no lyrical substance. Sad boy, self-aware club anthem right here. I like Joji's singing and flow. It's decent, I guess. Alright, let's bang out some of these Chloe BURBANK tracks. Probably my least favorite snippet on this mixtape album, but the sampling is still kind of cool. This really showcases how clever Joji is as a producer. Lo-fi Biggie, what more could you ask? Sounds beautiful, but I just wish it was longer.
That's what she said.
Sweet, rainy, lo-fi music with a raw piano loop. Sweet and sunny lo-fi music for those summer days, but instead of going to the beach or the park, you're just stuck at home studying. Wow, this sounds amazing. This is the creative production that I miss so much. Beat drop goes hard, reminds me of some raw Kanye production. Rain on Me sounds like it could fit nicely into the Chloe BURBANK project. Production slaps hard. I like the original, but I think the album version is 10 times, 100 times, a billion, gajillion, trillion times better. We got a Clams Casino ripoff right here. Oh wait, never mind. This is actually just Can't Get Over You Part 2. Like You Do is an incredibly stripped back piano ballad about surprise, a failed relationship. Sonically, it's fine, very skeletal. I'm not too crazy about it, but what really stands out are the vocals. I think Joji's singing fits really nicely with the production, but also they're pretty impressive on their own. Joji hired all the top tier composers to set the dramatic, dark mood for Nectar. I know some people don't like the auto-tune on his voice, but personally, I don't mind it. The only major flaw with 777 is that the song is juggling a bunch of different sounds, and I just don't think it flows very well, but it is somehow still really catchy for me. The lyrics are definitely more substantive than pills. There's a dark and even suicidal edge to it. If there's one song that grew on me the most, it's this one, even if it's just slightly. If Yeah Right is like a sad boy club anthem, this is like sad boy nostalgia hours. That beat drop in the middle of the song is actually creative. I love Popstar Joji a lot, but I wish we get to see more of this lo-fi production Joji too. You know, a little bit more balance and all's good. This is ringtone shit right here, and I mean that in the best way possible. It's cute and quirky with that Clams Casino production. You know, it doesn't overstay its welcome, and yeah, that's about it. Reminds me of like a leftover Pink Eye song. Maybe it's just my nostalgia talking because I have a lot of fond memories listening to
Cause I strike with more blow than Kurt Cobain's brains. Yeah.
Ugh, fun times, man. And here's my third favorite track off of Chloe BURBANK. R.I.P to anyone named Charlie though. This is one of my favorite late night driving songs. It's not too dreary or depressing that I'll have a mental breakdown and you know, crash the car. And it's not too boring that I'll fall asleep on the wheel. It's pretty short, kind of generic, but also pretty catchy. Yeah, it's a blissful, nostalgic 88 Rising song. Maybe it's the nostalgia, you know, clouding my my thinking here, but I really do love this song. Joji's singing on here is really impressive, especially on that chorus. I also love these lyrics of not living up to other people's standards, or in Joji's perspective, the struggles of being in the music industry and people having these expectations of you. That first verse where he goes, speed it up, slow it down, need control. It's kind of like he's producing a song and he wants to have creative control over his own music. I absolutely love this song, even though it's pretty short, pretty simple. There's a lot of personality. It's a fun, bouncy bop that's more infectious to the ear than the actual ear infection that's growing in my ear. One of the better ballads on Ballads 1 definitely has a more catchy hook and flow. Let's say Test Drive. There's a shiny, glimmery, glittery, sugar sweet vibe to it that I can't get enough of. It's an uplifting, poppy closing track to Nectar. I love the upbeat groove to it. Definitely feels like like the romantic ending to a young adult coming of age movie. This is melodrama done right. It's an all-out, uncompromising and bold love song. It holds back no punches with passionate vocals and dramatic production by the one and only Kenny Beats. Great song. You know, at first it didn't really connect with me, but Afterthought aged like fine wine, that fine Pinot Grigio. Joji and BENEE are looking back on a previous relationship, but it feels more relatable, genuine, and thoughtful. Yeah, don't let this one slide under that radar. I'm gonna breeze through the top 10 here. I already made this video where I analyze, dissect, and make love to all of these wonderful songs. Gimme Love is still number 10. I love the lively, constant pulse of the first half, and then the transition to the most heavenly sounding outro is still fantastic. It's like Joji just found random things in his house and used them as instruments to produce these chill, breezy, lo-fi beats. Yeah, this one's still amazing, especially when that beat drops and I just transcend into a higher level of consciousness, my fifth eye being opened, and all of life's bountiful questions being answered in a matter of milliseconds. Lyrically and sonically, it's a breath of fresh air on Ballads 1, a lighthearted, poppy song about lost friendships and just being reclusive in general. The singles to Nectar were really S-tier level songs. Run definitely being a ginormous musical highlight with some really prominent guitar passages combined with an excellent vocal performance by Joji. Didn't know a sample could save lives, but you know, here we are. If you haven't listened to this and you call yourself a Joji fan, get your shit together. Sanctuary is beautiful. Do I even have to say more about this perfect song? Diplo brings that energetic and punchy production that'll make a grown man shed tears. This is the happiest I felt listening to Joji. It's an absolute sin how I'm able to enjoy the album version of Pretty Boy as much as I do, and I think Lil Yachty actually overshines Joji on this song. It's a rare case where the most popular song is actually the best song. The lush, sweeping instrumentals, the gorgeous singing on here, and plus, it's super catchy. What more could you ask, you selfish Joji ho? Please tell me your shit god awful opinions down in the comments below. Love you. Thank you for watching. Peace out.